my masters in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. It might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk, the beanstalk, tail jack, go and fetch your bang. Try that and up, stand born to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my masters in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my masters in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk, the beanstalk, tail jack, to go and fetch your bang. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my
Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It is 11:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Sunday, and you're tuning into the premier kickoff game for the Buff Fan Base Network. This is Sunday Sessions. I'm your host, Swank. I got a panel full of just knowledge and charisma and personality here, as always. So we'll go around the horn here and introduce our esteemed panel. Right below me, the silkiest, berry whitest voice in all of content creation across the land. That's including you, Ravens Nation. My boy, Ryan Thomas. RT, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? What's up? I hopped on a little late. I was playing a little EA NHL, my Utah Moose, and got a little sidetracked. So
that's all right, dude.
You know,
that can tell you how important this game is today.
It is what it is.
I still got the controller in hand.
It's a good day to be Bills fan when the last game of the regular season virtually does not matter at all.
Yeah,
so,
it's beautiful thing.
Good thing.
Good to have you here, RT. Right next to me, my brother from another mother, Scooter Magooter. Scott, what do you got on a Sunday?
What's up, Swank? What's up, RT? What's up, Bills Mafia? More of the same. It's good to have this week off, technically, but I wouldn't say it didn't mean anything. I think we're going to see a handful of our future play these games, and we'll talk about it, but we get to see a lot of the rookies from this year. I think there might be 6 starting from the 2024 draft, so it'll be fun.
Ooh, yes, this is the preseason at the end of the regular season, folks. I would be remiss if I did not inform you that we are part of Buff Fan Base Network. Super proud to be. Also sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. Del Reed and the gang got all sorts of great things happening over there. So go check it out, 26 Shirts. Part of the reason we like doing this show is because the inactives come out. And this might be just the biggest list. If this list happened Chiefs week or Niners week, we might be a little ecstatic, a little crazy about it. Here we go. We didn't know about this guy, but number 7, Taron Johnson is not playing today. He's inactive. Number 18, Amari Cooper, not active today. Terrell Bernard, that's the one we knew about. He's not active. Christian Benford, also not active. Greg Rousseau, not active. Deion Dawkins, not active. Eddie Oliver and Daquan Jones, both inactive today. What a list you would hate to see any other time other than week 18 going into New England to play a game that really doesn't affect our seeding or anything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this list, RT? What does it mean to you? Riff on it. Go ahead.
Well, to be honest with you, the one guy that's not on this list that I'm happy is not on this list is DeMar Hamlin. Happy that he is back and healthy and ready to go. I think it's really important today to see a healthy dose of him getting legitimate work. I've read and I heard it was kind of alluded to by McDermott himself that Hamlin's going to play, if not the entire game today, at least the majority of it, because there's some guys that have been out since the Rams game, or even later than that, like Keon Coleman, who need to get back into the speed of things, need to get back into the swing of things heading into next week's wild card game. And I'm happy to see some names that are not on this list. The names that are on the list, obviously the one that jumps out to me is Amari Cooper and Teron Johnson, Terrell Bernard, rest up, obviously, and Greg Rousseau, rest up and get ready. I think some of the starters are not too shocking. I don't know if some of the starters already have some injuries that they're just nursing, or they're just inactive, because at the end of the day, the game for guys like Tyrell Shavers matters, and other players that haven't really gotten the work these last 16, 17 weeks. But for guys like that, I think it's important that they do sit out, that have had a little bit of a grind on their body, like Dion and Rousseau and a few others that are on this list.
I like it, man. I mean, I think this is what we were shooting for. Scott and I each had a similar take about win last week, use this week as a makeshift bye. And you're no worse off than having the 1 seed. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's great. Scooter, what do you think about this list, brother? What's it mean to you?
Swank, real quick, was Ulo Foshio on that list?
Nope.
So he's playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again,
clap. All these guys.
Like I said, I mean, I expected this kind of list. I don't know if Josh Allen's going to be out there for a series or whatever it is. I would have liked for his starting left tackle to be out there. I don't want to see any BS. Let's just go out there for 2 drives that don't establish anything. If you go out there, I just want to see something out of this offense, not just, okay, we put our pads on, we ran some plays, because that's when it can get dangerous. We're told as coming up through little leagues of high school, you run every play 100% or else you're going to get hurt. So I hope they come out with 1 series and runs it 100% and looks good doing it. But the offense doesn't surprise me as far as what's out there. And I'm also not surprised with what the Bills are bringing as far as active rosters are to this defense. I want to see our talent that we drafted in 2024 shine a little bit. Obviously, rookie mistakes are going to happen, but we do have 18 weeks of practice squad, 18 weeks of being in the system and learning. So shake off the rust a little bit and get out there and give us a good performance. Dwayne Carter's going to play. Edwin Ulufosho is going to play. Joe Andreessen's playing. Bishop playing. I'm excited to see it. I'll be drinking knowing that we already got that number 2 seed locked in, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I think, this is telling. This is typical McDermott Bean era football, I think, right now for the situation. The older guys are getting the rest. The guys that, might have been kind of banged up. I think the only guy really on this list that had any sort of injury at all was Terrell Bernard. I know that they did say Amari showed up on the injury report late. It didn't seem to be affecting him or anything else, and they were all full go and all that. But you got to assume if you can give a guy a week of rest before you head into the playoffs, like you're going to do it, especially somebody who's getting a little older and is really a vital piece to your offense. I got a question for you guys. Out of all the people playing today, and we're going the whole depth, the 53, what player does today mean the most to? Out of everybody on the roster that's going to be on the field today, who does this day matter the most to? You got one, Scott?
I'm going to go with the wide receivers that are coming. And Cooper's not playing. Curtis Samuel. We have 3 right now that have played the season. Obviously, Shavers has played last week and had that screen go all the way. So this is kind of an audition to see what Josh Allen potentially will have next year, whether it's Shavers, Hamler, or who's the other guy? The kid that came in, Virgil. I'd like to see.
Virgil's not up today. He already got pulled twice.
Okay, so I mean, I think
you're right.
Performance, and maybe even our linebackers. I'll go there too. I'll take two chunks out of that pie. Big time linebackers. Milano, he's getting older. He's got the injury bug. Obviously, Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams have been staples to this defense. Lots of tackles, but we need that depth. So I think this is a big game to show those rookies that are coming in, Andreessen and Ulo Foshio, if they belong on this roster or not.
I like it. Patrick says Cooper's inactive due to a personal issue, so he hope he's okay. Usually that's not a cool thing. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I think it's like a death in the family or something like that. So that's a bummer. But RT, what do you think, man? You got a guy?
I got two. Actually. I think it's an important day. Technically, I got 3. I think it's an important day for the quarterbacks. With Josh Allen not really playing next year, I am really actually overly. I don't think many people have talked about this season heading into next season, but the quarterback room I think is really important, and I think it's something that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. We were able to bring back Mitch Trubisky coming off of what happened with him in Pittsburgh. Didn't work out, I think it's safe to say, for him in Pittsburgh, but he was able to come back here and sign a 2-year deal. And then the other day they were able to extend Mike White, who I've always really liked. I make the joke to you, Swank, that I think he's the best Jets quarterback since Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm being a little, facetious saying that, but honestly, I think he's really good. He's a quality third string, guy that most teams don't have. And I'm excited to see which one plays better out of the two, which one gets more reps out of the two. And then, of course, Buffalo Joe himself, the Lancaster legend, Joe Andreessen, he had 8 tackles in a quarter last week. So really, really excited for him. He's made the most of every opportunity that they've given him. And I expect nothing less in this game, that he's going to get a chance to not only play, but play a lot of snaps on this defense that has been so good for so many years.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's one of those feel goods that actually isn't like remember in the drought we had to reach for those guys to be like, oh, that's my guy. Like let's get this rags to riches feel good homegrown boy, like whatever. To me, his situation's so much different because he's actually good. Like he actually fits the defense really well. Like you said, led the team in tackles last week, only played a quarter. So it's a cool story. For me, man, I think the biggest spotlight is on safety. I think it's DeMar against Bishop. Bishop's come in and done an okay job. I think a lot of people are kind of padding his numbers relative to DeMar Hamlin. I don't know exactly what it is. I think DeMar's had a good, solid season, but maybe there's still a little of that like unsureness with him. Or I know, people saying that he gets beat deep and that kind of thing. I don't know. I think DeMar's had a really good season. I think Cole getting this time on task on the field is very, very important.
For sure.
And I think they're so neck and neck right now. This could be something that you see Cole Bishop next week against whoever we're playing at home first week in the playoffs. So I think to me, that's where the spotlight's going to be. And I'm just stoked for a lot of these depth guys to get out there and get some reps. We've got really good depth already. This cannot hurt at all. So I'm pumped.
RT, you mentioned quarterbacks real quick. Rex Ryan interviewing with the Jets on Tuesday. They have the 7th round pick. Are they getting a quarterback with that pick? Go real quick. Yes or no?
I'm gonna say no. I think that they're gonna convince Aaron Rodgers to stick around. I really do.
Okay.
I wouldn't have said that probably a month ago, but to be honest with you, outside of the game against Buffalo, Rodgers was starting to actually play pretty well. So I feel like he's their best chance. They don't want to go out and sign another free agent and fall on their face. They definitely don't want to draft another kid and ruin his career, because they've already done that with Mark Sanchez and Zach Wilson. So I think they're going to try to convince Rodgers to stay. It sounds like Rodgers is hanging him up, but I feel like they're going to convince him to stick around.
Same story, different year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. That's fun for this team to be completely dismantled and then lay in purgatory in the offseason.
I will say they are very similar. The Jets and the Buffalo Sabres are very similar right now. I hate to say that, but
I like that
in terms
parallel,
of,
dude.
yeah, in terms of looking to the past. I mean, we did that with Marv Levy. We brought him back as a GM. I actually thought he did really well. That's another talking point for another day. But I think that they're looking to go back to the past. I always liked Rex, but I think it's safe to say that there's other candidates out there that are more primed and ready for the position that have been in the league the last 7-8 years that should probably be interviewed rather than him.
It's a New York style move. I mean,
Yeah.
bring in a big
Bring him
story.
back. Sure. Bring him back. I didn't think it could get any worse, but if you bring Rex back, it could get worse.
It could. They brought back, and Steve Tasker broke this down really well on One Bills Live. He said they brought back their old GM to help them find their new GM. So how long is it going to take for their old GM to be like, why am I even looking for a new GM when I did this job already? I could just take it myself.
Yep.
Like that. It's just such a weird structure there.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we're in the position we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Debbie had a question here, and it has to do with Micah Hyde. So what is the deal with Hyde? Was he hired for the practice squad or as a coach? Please explain his role. As far as I'm concerned, and I think McDermott kind of notion toward this when they signed Micah back, Micah is an extreme depth piece. They are hoping that he's playing very little. I think he's there to kind of gas up the locker room. I think he's there to coach up guys like Cole Bishop. He said he's getting back into shape. I think if they had any indication that maybe it would get so deep on the roster that they needed to pull him up, like they would have him play a little bit today, and they're not. So, coach, yeah, I think it's a safety blanket. I also think he's got a very good relationship with the team, and if they make this run, they want him to be a part of it.
Yep.
I don't think that's the NFL is not all rainbows and unicorns and warm feelings, but I think with this team, this culture, I think that was probably a little bit of it. He has to bring something to the table, expertise wise and coaching wise. They're not just going to let him leech on and get a ring or whatever if that's what happens. But I think having him here helps the locker room even more so than what it was. That's kind of where I'm at.
And they needed to do something because at one point we had 3 out of our 4 defensive backs injured. So Mike Edwards got cut. Obviously Rapp and Hamlin were injured. So something had to happen. You had to bring in familiarity, and Hyde was there waiting. So he was just a protection piece right there that the Bills brought in, I do believe.
I could give you guys a tidbit on this too,
Sure.
Debbie, as far as the question. So they have that Micah Hyde charity softball game every, the last 4 or 5 years. It's one of the best events, I think, in the community. Raises a lot of funds for his charity. Obviously, lets Bills fans get as close to the players as humanly possible. And Micah Hyde kept mentioning throughout the game, the softball game, as Sal Capaccio was like the MC for the event, that they still got number 23 available. They were holding that number out for quite a long time, from last season to the moment they brought Micah Hyde back. So this was in the works for a really long time. I mean, this was probably in constant communication, kind of overseeing everything that McDermott does, and Micah Hyde being a big piece of that. I thought it was a great move, and whether he plays it down or not, I still think it's a great move.
Yeah, I like it. Your brother there, Scooter, was asking about elevations from the practice squad today. Did Frank Gore Jr. get pulled up? No, I just found an article. They did not bring any skill position players up from the practice squad. They went with Will Clapp and Casey Toohill.
Yep.
So there's only 4 wide receivers available for today. They could not bring up Virgil, Shavers, or Zach Davidson because they've all been elevated to 3 times off the squad this year.
Right.
That all resets after today. Going into the playoffs, everybody goes back to 0. You can do whatever you want. Well, I think is it 2 pull-ups during the playoffs?
I think it's 2.
2, yeah. Yep.
So that's why they made that move to sign Mike White to the 53-man roster, so they didn't have to use an elevation on him.
And then they extended him.
And they extended him.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I think you're going to see something from Mike White today. I'm with you, RT, man. I always liked his play. I hated when he played us, but I always liked his play when he was on.
He hated playing Matt Milano. I think that's safe to say. But
that set his career back a couple games.
But they said that they put his locker next to Matt Milano as like a joke when they first signed him, and he was like, "Come on, guys." He was such a good sport about it, though. Too. Yeah, it was great. It was so great.
I love too. They're talking what Josh was like a finalist for the some award about like in the NFL, like one of the like most hospitable, something like that. And then they had Rasul being like, yeah, he's always got a kind word to say, and it cuts to him like telling him he can't play.
Yeah,
like
when they played against him.
Yeah, he's like, you suck.
His social media team for the Bills is just like out of control. It's so good.
I mean, the fact that they were able to cut that clip about wearing the red jerseys and they found it and used it for that red jersey game, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, really.
Why?
All right, it's 11:50, guys. Want to remind you, we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network and sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. They got tons of cool stuff going on right now. It's after the holidays. I'm sure you got money just burning a hole in your pocket. Why not? Get something fresh, help some families in Western New York. I mean, it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. We're gonna keep this a hot 12. I didn't get a chance to tell you guys because I got some folks coming over to watch the game.
Sure.
So I did want to ask something, and now okay. So Josh is getting his starts record still going on hot and strong. That's why he's getting the start today. Do we see Jimbo Cook hit 1K today?
I had that written right here. Stay healthy. Don't reach for records. Don't reach for incentives. We need the Super Bowls and playoff wins are more important than those. And the Bills have established that mentality right off the beginning of the season. So don't venture too far off from what you've been saying you're going to do all year and try to get people records and incentives. Get out of this game healthy, make a playoff run, win the Super Bowl. If he does, wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I think like the Saquon thing can really be, right.
How many yards does he need? Let's start there.
Jimbo?
Yeah.
Wait. You talking about Jimbo or Saquon?
Jimbo. Yeah,
Jimbo only needs like 40.
70. Yeah.
40? He could get that on 2 carries and pull him. That's
one carry.
Fine. 1 carry.
I was at that game. One carry.
What am I talking about? Yeah. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah. I was being a little modest, but you know what? 1 carry. We'll throw that out there too. Yeah. Honestly, he could do that in 1 carry, 1 drive. I mean, but to Scott's point, I think this team, it was apparent to me, and it was apparent to a lot of people right away that the team was different this year than what it had been in previous years. Whether it's got something to do with the outside factors, the Stephon Diggs and drama and all that. Mm-hmm. You could say that. You could also say that the team is matured. The leader is matured. The leader has taken more of a leadership role, which I think is another reason why he should win the MVP. But I think it's pretty glaring to me that the locker room really knows what's at stake this time around, that they've had a hell of a season and they need to finish it. And the only way to finish it is to get back to the Super Bowl and win it this time.
I love it. I don't want to leave. I mean, guys, really, like we'll do score predictions and stuff, but I'm looking beyond. We never look beyond. I am looking beyond. We will find out who the Buffalo Bills play by the end of today. Right now, the Broncos have the greatest percentage likelihood to be the opponent coming to town. If they lose and the Dolphins lose, the Bengals will be here. If they lose and the Dolphins win, the Dolphins will be here. The Bengals beating the Steelers yesterday 19-17. Whatever. Also, Lamar making a bold statement, scoring 2 touchdowns against the Browns yesterday. That was a huge MVP.
Then you wake up and you see Ken Dorsey gets fired again. It's like,
did he?
Wow.
Dude. I saw his head in his hands like this.
Yeah, got fired again.
Poor guy.
I couldn't after that game. I couldn't believe he wasn't fired last night. in
I know.
the
Right
booth.
on the spot.
Yeah, holy moly.
That team is right there with the Jets, dumpster fire. Hopefully, maybe Myles Garrett does not want to be there anymore. He wants to join his buddy Amari somewhere.
Head to the other side of Lake Erie. Come on, man. Let's
Von Miller's contract's very suspicious. That might be a trade out right there.
Could be cool. Hey, Von could probably turn that locker room around. You could just do a trade, straight up trade, right now.
That's where careers go to die. They're saying Kirk Cousins could be going to Cleveland. If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm not going to Cleveland.
No, hell no.
I mean, offensive coordinator.
Okay.
The tight end screen pass on 3rd and 12. Bye.
Choice: Cleveland or New Jersey. If you're Kirk Cousins.
If they keep Aaron Rodgers, then that's out. But if they don't, I'd go to the Jets. Cleveland is.
Jets have talent. They just don't have the right play calls and the coordinators right now.
Right, the right coaching. I wouldn't touch Cleveland with a 10-foot pole. That's the only team I would not want to play for if there was a team that wanted me, but there isn't. So.
Their cap hit has to be insane in Cleveland too. And
their cap's horrible. That's why I want them to give some draft capital for the Buffalo Bills for Kyer Elam, a man coverage defense, and Cleveland runs man coverage.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that'll work great. So, I mean, we got 3 different scenarios here, guys. And to be honest, it's like the Broncos are playing the Chiefs backups. The Dolphins are starting their 2nd string quarterback, I believe, against the Jets. Does Aaron Rodgers want to go out swinging on top, or is it Tyrod? And Tyrod will put up a game, or I don't know. All of this is like, the only team that's trying, I think, really, or has a shot to try, is the Broncos. So they control the whole destiny of the thing. Out of these 3 teams, can we get a quick ranking who you most want to play to who you do not want to play? Go ahead, Scooter. You got yours in mind?
I mean, Cincinnati was fluffed yesterday as far as offense goes, but their offense still looks amazing. It's one game. They won a ton of games in a row. I do not want to play them. So they're the number 1 team I don't want to play right now. Miami Dolphins would be the number 2. As much as I would like them to come to a warm weather situation with a backup quarterback, Mark Maddox always says, you play a division team twice as hard, 3 times is very difficult. I don't mind the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos has a really good defense. That's what keeps them in the game. Bo Nix is coming into his own. But I think in Buffalo with the Mafia, I think the X factor would be the Mafia taking over in the cold and the Bills advancing to the divisional playoff game.
So you're going no Bengals, no Dolphins, yes Broncos. That's what you want. Okay.
Controlling their own destiny, and their defense is tough.
What do you think, RT?
I would agree. I do want to go out and publicly state that I have been a little bit irked by the X feed of Bills Mafia. It seems like a lot of Bills Mafia is way too afraid of playing any team. Way too afraid. Way too scared. It's like, okay, we got Josh Allen, we got James Cook. Let's go. You might need to rewatch the rest of the season to find out actually how great the Buffalo Bills are right now. So, I do get, why somebody wouldn't want to play Cincinnati over Denver, or why somebody wouldn't want to play, Miami over Denver. To Scott's point, divisional games are really hard, but we're the Buffalo Bills. We have one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the game. Our defense has been consistently stout. There's been some slip-ups, yes, but those slip-ups are against brutally great teams like, Detroit, the Rams. I felt like everybody was sleeping on the Rams at that point heading into the game, and they've really turned their season around since they won that game. But I think that it is going to be Denver. I'd be shocked if Denver lost to KC. Any given Sunday, anything's possible, but Bo Nix is pretty damn good. Sean Payton is one of those coaches that will do whatever it takes to just stick it to the opposing sideline, and he knows that Andy Reid's on the other side. So that's the guy that he's got to get one victory over this season somehow, some way. And I think he's going to do whatever it takes today to get that done against the Chiefs backups. So
teams play different when it's you control your own destiny. Teams play different when it's that scenario. So Denver.
Yeah, and I think that they will, and I think there's a lot of glaring signs with teams like Miami, or we talked about the Jets a little bit, but I mean Miami had a shot at this thing, and that was taken away because Tua can't play. It's another Same story. Tua can't go.
Do you mean he's unavailable or he just can't play football? Because I'm with the can't play football part.
I'm with he can't play football, so he should be unavailable. Period.
Even if he's out there taking snaps, he can't play football.
Right. So that's where, it's, I mean, the Bills are just so far ahead of a lot of these teams in the AFC, and they're even further ahead of the teams in the division, obviously, just why they're in the position they're in. And I think Bills fans are looking at it like, obviously there's a little bit of, stress heading into playoffs. We want to get to the Super Bowl, and there might be a team that we're more afraid of than others. That's fair, but I don't think there's a team that should be, that we should be afraid of. To be honest, I think we could beat any team. I really do.
I agree. I think climbing these ranks, like out of these three teams, I will say, to me, the Bengals, I don't want to use the history of our previous matchups to determine whether we want to play them or not. The Bengals are a different team than they were. Their defense is horrendous. Right. I still, like whatever, that wound, fine, I get it. I'll tell you, man, on this list, the Broncos are kind of the team I don't want to play. They got a hot defense, and Bo Nix is coming into his own. I don't know. I mean, I think that we've seen when a defense can shut our offense down a little bit, right? We've seen what can happen if you have an okay to above average offense where it can get a little out of control with the one example that we have right from this season against the Ravens. So I think, to me, that's that dangerous little unknown. I'm fine with playing them. Don't get it wrong. I'm fine with any of these guys. But I think that's a sneaky team, man. I think they're one of those teams that I think
continue to get better.
Yeah. If they lose today, it kind of be a disservice to the way that they've played the season, I think, and persevered through this year with a rookie quarterback and a second-year coach, right? I think I want the Dolphins. We just own them. We own them. We've already beat them 3 times in one season with a backup quarterback. That script's already been written, you know. But anybody can come in. Go ahead. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Again, I'd play anybody too. That Stafford game, Stafford was on point. Stafford was the guy that I love. That's why they lost. Is he had one of those games, and our defense was a bit worrisome, but we got Josh Allen. Remember who we have? We have Josh Allen. Bring anybody to Buffalo, we beat them.
Yep, I like it. Lori says Eli said hi to everyone. Our kid in the street, Eli, man. We just put out official Eli's lockdown shirts up on our bonfire. You can go to 247buffandemonium.com and go to the shop and see that. It's all over our social medias and whatnot. I think last time I saw it was like 11 that we'd sold, and all of the proceeds are going to an animal shelter of Eli's choosing.
The Verona Animal Shelter.
Yep. So go check that out. And they've been selling like hotcakes.
Eli's pushing to 20. That's his goal. So
he wants 20. Yeah, let's do it up. Guys, let's do a quick score prediction, and we'll hit a final thought and get got because I ran over like a dummy. But RT, what do you got for a score prediction, buddy?
Score prediction, I'm going to go Bills win. Bills backups beat the Patriots starters, just to show you where the Bills are at ahead of these AFC teams. I'm going to go 24-17. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Buffalo's going to come out on top. Mitch Trubisky, 2 tutties.
Ooh.
Maybe even a rushing. Maybe showing off a little bit of the UNC Tar Heel wheels that he used to have. I don't know if he still does. We'll see.
I like it. What do you think, Scooter?
I got 30-24. Power of the O's. I'd hate for the Bills not to score the 30 burger this week. So I think with the backups they do such, maybe even a defensive touchdown. But these guys have been practicing, like I said, all along for all these 18 weeks. They know the system. Play a basic offense there. Joe Brady call the plays. These guys are good at set these guys up for success. Let's come out with a victory. 14-3. Let's go.
I like it. Debbie Emerton says 31-19 Bills. Frankie J. Matthews. Frankie, man, new name over on X. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. 17-10 Bills. Low scoring and boring, he says. John says 24-20. I am going to go with, I don't think they get that 30, man. I'm going to say 24-10. And I think Bishop gets his first interception. How about that?
Oh, lovely.
How about that? I like that one. Maybe maybe Curtis Samuel, he gets another touchdown. How about that? Let's get him warmed back up and in the fold a little bit. Real quick, we got a video from Corey. He says 30-20. Here we go.
What's up, guys? Last Spaghetti-O video of the regular season. We're really just gonna do something relaxed today. Nothing crazy. We'll save that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best Spaghetti-O
What an
video
actor.
ever, huh? Yeah. Try saying that 10 times fast. Spaghetti-O video. Oh, what do you think the score is gonna be today, bud?
20-30.
20-30. You got the double-O's for the final game. You know what? I was saying 30-17, but I'm gonna go 30-20 with you, bud. Take two O's for the final game.
20-30.
I know. Daddy just said it the way you're supposed to say it. 30-20. Who do you think's gonna be the X factor? Who do you think the best player today is gonna be?
2 snaps, dude. I bet he
doesn't
is.
play
Yeah.
a lot. Obviously he's hands down MVP, but I don't care about the stats, none of that anymore. Let's rest everybody today. Go in, get your one snap, your one little drive. Let's rest everybody. Let the backups prove what they can do. And let's get on to next week and start whooping some ass. Huh? You can swear one time. What are we going to do next week? Whoop some what?
Ass.
I love you. Cheers, guys.
Tink.
Go Bills!
Go Bills.
Our dude Corey coming through with the fire Spaghetti-O video. The last regular season one, dude. You better do playoff ones. You got to keep it going.
Oh, yeah.
You can't not. All right, guys, 12:06. Let's roll around with a final thought and get the hell out of here. Thanks so much for tuning into Sunday Sessions. You can catch us next week whenever we're going to play an hour and a half before kickoff. RT, tell them your final thought and where they can find you, buddy.
Hey, of course. So, final thoughts. I'm really excited to see what some of these young guys will get the chance to do today. That is the kind of the underlying key to this game, is to see guys like Joe Andreessen, Shavers. Really excited for those guys to get the opportunity to show up on a big stage in a game that they normally wouldn't have this opportunity. So all the young guys that are out there, I'm really pulling for you to make your impact today and be a big part of this team, moving forward, of course, as they have been a part of this team from the jump. So, of course, you guys can find me on Wednesday night, 8:00. Buffalo Fanbase Podcast Network took a break due to the holiday and New Year's, but I'll be back this week and hopefully recapping a win with a preview to the Bills versus whoever they play. Bring it on. I'm not worried about the Bengals. I'm not worried about the Broncos. I'm not worried about the Dolphins. We got the MVP, my MVP and your MVP, JA17, and I'll take that guy over anybody, against anybody, for the playoffs.
I love it. Nicely said, brother. Nicely said. Scoot Magoot, what do you goot?
Couple things. This is Sparta. I know he's been in the comments quite a bit today. Didn't get my chance to say it. The beard did come off, guys. It's more comfortable now. It was a New Year's thing. I also remind everybody, 11 shirts have been purchased to help support the Verona Animal Shelter. Eli's Lockdown, our bonfire at 247buffandemonium.com. Go there, click on the shop, help Eli out and the Verona Animal Shelter. Good things. They just recently lost their pups, so it means a lot to the little guy in the family. So hit them up. And my final thought is enjoy this week. This is kind of a bye week. I want to see these young bucks perform well. They've been in the system for all season, so I don't expect much as far as a downfall from what the Bills have been producing on the field. So it's going to be a fun game to watch. Let's watch our young bucks play and see what our future looks like. Cheers. Go Bills.
Hell yeah. Guys, I just went to the bonfire to check it out. We are up to 12 items sold, 8 shy of Eli's goal of 20. And it'll be up there forever. The kid has worked his little butt off, man. He's really excited to be doing what he's doing. We're really excited for him to be a part of it. He's been a great addition to what we do. And thanks so much to him and Lori. When we came up with this idea here, Corey actually approached me about it and wanted me to make a shirt for him because they had sent a Bills Mafia Babe shirt to his daughter. And we were going to do a one-off thing. And then me and the boys got talking and we're like, well, let's do this campaign and Eli can pick the charity that he wants to donate the proceeds to. So it's the best shirt the best selling shirt I think we've ever had, maybe. So go on and help it out, and it's pretty dope. And he was really excited because he has his own merch now. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, guys, next week on Tuesday, you will at least have myself and Scooter for the K-Gun Report, and also Mr. Don Beebe returning to the panel to talk about that first week of the playoffs right here on the K-Gun Report. Oh, man, it's going to be dope. So come on back and check that out. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your cousin, tell your ex-wife, and then tell her the wrong address or something. It'll be awesome. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy today, relax, because next week I think we're going to be a little more stressed out just because we're Bills fans, and that anxiety will build right up. And until like the third quarter when we're blowing out Miami or the Broncos or the Bengals by 4 scores, and then you can relax, right? So just take a breath and have a good time.
Mr. Brightside. Just
Mr. Brightside, man. Look at the bright side.
Yeah, the bright side. What are people on here? We got the MVP. Let's go.
Let's go.
As far as schedule goes, the way it works out, it could be a Saturday, it could be a Sunday, it could be a Monday game. So keep your eyes posted on our social media platforms to see when we're showing.
That's right. And above all else, go Bills.
Yep. I put the link in to Eli's bonfire. Check it out. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Couldn't get my masters in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to sing. You might get the best of him, but you'll